Hey guys, it's Ewok Fellow here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Invisible Hand from RepublicBricks.com. This was designed by Haitian Designs, I believe that's his name, on Instagram. And this set contains 2,995 pieces and retails on RepublicBricks' website for $800 US. Now today I won't be really reviewing RepublicBricks, that'll be in a separate video, but I will just be reviewing this model and the quality of the parts when they came in. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. And yeah guys, so the first thing you can see here is that this set is absolutely huge. It takes up a lot of space on my table here, and as you can see, it is fully smoothed out almost everywhere. There's actually no stud showing except for up here at the front and then a little bit there on the tower. But everywhere else, including on the bottom, there are no anti-studs unless it's for a stand or like these pieces where you couldn't get it. But there's no, like, we got all these inverted tiles here on the bottom. There is no stud showing where if ever it was possible to hide them, which I know a lot of people will appreciate that we were able to get this all completely covered up. And as you can see as well, we got the nice little details, like we got the bridge right there. My favorite thing about this is just the front half, or like the front black section of the ship, because I just think this nose and everything here, like the curves, all just come together so nicely to make this shape, and like the little beak here at the front. We got all these nice little greebling details on the side. It is exactly the same on the other side. It is completely mirrored. A very nice use of these ski pieces for the antennas on the top. As you can see on the bottom, we got that as well. This assembly made me a little nervous at first. When we were putting it together, it warps the bricks a little bit, but then when you attach it all the way, I think there's like just a lot of stress on these bricks right here, which is something I'm a little nervous about, like maybe cracking or something from here. But that's like really the only complaint build-wise I have of this set. Oh, and also another thing we need to talk about is the stand. This stand right here is not that great. It's really good when you're leaving it here perfectly still, but if you ever want to move it, you have to take it off the stand, and as you can see, there's no real good place to set this down because these pieces right here will break and bend if you try to set it down off of the stand, and you need to take this off the stand and move the stand separately, otherwise the stand will just completely fall apart. It is really, really weak right here in like the middle area to connect it. Everything else is fine. It'll hold it up. It's a little shaky on the stand if you move it, but really it's not that bad. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and look at the interior pieces. So as I just mentioned, this set actually does have an interior. It's actually got two sections of interior. Even the website says he has three. That's because on the original design that the guy was working on, I know because I was in contact with him when he was working on the original, he originally planned on having this interior here, and a separate interior section here, and then another interior section right here. This little interior section was actually removed and replaced with a ton of structural stability thing, which is great because this thing is rock solid. Like this, there's no way this thing is coming apart other than like the tower, this, and like those are the only things you could realistically get off. Everything else is just so well put together. There's no way it's gonna come apart, which is absolutely great. But we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this front interior section, which is supposed to be representative of the bridge. And you just pop this right off, and you got that right there. So as you can see here, you got a little chair that is, I believe it is designed for just regular minifigs, but I find it actually works really well for General Grievous right here, since it is his flagship. He can just sit right there. And then you've also got this chair here, which I believe is supposed to be piloted by a battle droid, but unfortunately a battle droid doesn't really fit too well into that space. But you can leave minifigures in here, but they can't be standing up. If they're standing up, the ceiling will be way too low. But you can just play in here. You got this little suggestion of a door, and behind it is all just, like I said, structural stuff back here. But it's all very, very nice use of space and of parts, and really great that they're able to include this interior without sacrificing the structure of the build. And as you can see, this is how this little section looks when it's off. You got the nice use of the ball joints and the clips right there to get this nice little rounded shape up to the nose in the front. And then you can just push this all right back down, and you don't even have to worry about it coming off the stand when you're putting pressure up here on the front. It will not fall off because there's a ton of weight back here. And so you can't, okay, like I said about the stand earlier, you can't pick it up, but you can slide it just fine. And there's also this back section of interior as well. So what you do is you got this big old hanger trunk. I don't know exactly where it is. Yeah, you can see it coming off there. This whole huge, heavy section. There's a ton of small pieces and stuff. As you can see, that's like all plates, and that's all like brackets and stuff to attach stuff on. Like there's a ton of parts going into this section right here. But we'll come back to this because there's actually a feature with that. But as you can see here, there is a nice little interior in here as well. You got this hallway that you can stand up figures in. Figures actually can fit standing in here, as you can see. And there's plenty of spaces for them to go on all these little studs. You can even fit your like battle droids and stuff for your droid army, just like that. And you can recreate some scenes in here. I don't know if you could fit a droideka or something if you wanted to recreate the Ray Shield scene or something. But this isn't actually representative of the hangar. There is no hangar representation in this build, but the floor detail is very nice. It is a little annoying to put together because getting these corner tiles to line up is always just such a pain. But I really am happy with how the detail came in together. Right here, something to note. I did have one missing piece, and it was this piece right here. There wasn't even like a color substitution or anything. It was just missing. But luckily, I had it in my parts collection, so it wasn't an issue. But for someone who doesn't have a bunch of extra parts on hand, that is probably a very big issue. Now we're gonna get on to one more feature of this hangar piece. As you can see here, this is the door that shuts when they blow out the ray shields. But as you can see, you can actually just push it out like that. It's just this little build right here that studs in right there. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see that right there. It studs in just like that. And now without it, you can also do the same on the other side, because both sides are mirrored. And as you can see with both sides out now, you just have this empty little section of the hangar suggestion, just like you do in the movie. Obviously there's that gap there that you would not normally see in the movie, but it does look really nice with this open hangar. I really am a fan of that. This is, in case you didn't know, this is one of my favorite ships in all of Star Wars, is the Invisible Hand. And then you've got this rear thruster section, which is honestly probably one of my lesser favorite parts, if we're being honest. This slope I felt could have been done a lot better, and actually this isn't supposed to be angled down. This is just the warping of the plates, because when you stack a lot of Lego plates together, it bends them a little bit since there's small imperfections. But this nice section is really nice looking. This was supposed to be in black, but I guess because the black version of that piece is very expensive, they part substituted it to gray, but I think it still looks really good. This is a really nice engine design, and the thrusters I'm a fan of. This back fin I am not. And if you were wondering, for those of you wondering, it is in fact, this is hard to do with one hand, so I'm trying my best, it is in fact swooshable. Because of the frame of the build, it's actually Oops, very, very, very solid. Like you see, I just bumped it into something. It's not falling apart. You can shake it around and everything. This thing is not coming apart at all. So if you wanted to pick it up and move it around, swoosh it around, you can absolutely do that. The only difficult part is getting it back on the stand. But other than that, I think that is going to do for this review today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to stick around to see my review of RepublicBricks' set service and memberships program, I will be reviewing that shortly. Price-wise on this thing's $800 again for 2,995 pieces. I believe that really, if you're just an avid fan of Star Wars and want a model of this, I would highly suggest trying to find someone who sells instructions and a parts list rather than a full set, because I don't think $800 is worth it unless you are as big a fan of this set or this ship as I am, or you happen to be a part of his memberships program and get a really good deal, which I will be talking about in a later video. But again, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and share the video around if you're new, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.